folks, welcome to Boardgame Corner. I'm Mark.
And I'm Ann.
Today we're taking a look at Meteor. Asteroids are crashing towards the Earth.
So Meteor is a game for 1 to 5 players ages 13 and up. It's real-time, cooperative, plays in less than 5 minutes, and it's published by Mayday Games.
Awesome. Well, let's fire those rockets off and stop those meteors.
The goal of the game in Meteor is to work quickly with your fellow scientists to destroy all of the meteors which are headed towards Earth. There are 5 phases to the game, which represent the 5 layers of the atmosphere which the meteors are flying through. If you don't destroy all of the meteors before the end of the final round, everyone will lose the game. No pressure, right? The game comes with lots of cards. You've got meteor cards, you've got rocket cards, energy cards, technology, power-up, challenge, and of course, you have boss meteor cards.
To set up the game, use the reference card to determine how many cards you need to begin the game. Shuffle the meteor deck and deal out the correct number of meteors face down in the center of the table. Shuffle the resource deck and deal the correct number of resource cards to each person. Everyone may look at their cards, but need to hold them in their hand so the other players cannot see them. Take the altitude zone cards and stack them from 1 to 5. Grab your timer and you're ready to go.
The game is going to be played in 5 rounds, each round lasting up to 1 minute. At the end of a round, remove the topmost altitude zone card and give each player a new resource card or cards as determined by how many players are playing the game. You can use the egg timers included in the box to track each minute, or you can use a timer on your phone. We found it easiest to use our phones, but we'd absolutely love to see a dedicated app. Hint, hint, something similar to Werewolf? In order to destroy the meteors, your team will need to build and launch rockets at each meteor that's headed towards Earth. Every person gets a launch site, which is the area on the table directly in front of them. Rockets are built by playing cards into your launch site. Each rocket has a required number of energy cards needed in order to complete the rocket. For example, this rocket needs just 1 chemical or red energy card and it's ready to launch. This rocket needs 2 fuel or yellow energy cards. Once you've met the requirement, you're able to launch.
Don't forget, since the game is real-time, everyone will be building rockets at the same time. And since it's cooperative, you will help your teammates build their rockets. You can start with either a rocket or you can start with an energy card, so long as you are the first person to place a card into your launch site. After the owner of a launch site has added 1 card, then other players can add to that specific launch site. Also, you are only allowed to build 1 thing at a time in each launch site, meaning you can't be working on 2 rockets at the same time.
So let's take a look at actually launching a rocket. Each rocket has a point value from 1 to 5, which is displayed in the upper left-hand corner. This is how much damage the rocket does when launching at a meteor. Each meteor has an exact size on the back of the card. To destroy a size 2 meteor, you will need a rocket that will do at least 2 points of damage. To destroy a size 3 meteor, you need a rocket that will do at least 3 points of damage, and so forth. In addition to destroying a meteor with 1 single rocket, you can also launch multiple rockets at the same time towards 1 meteor, which is definitely necessary for the nasty boss meteors. When you do this, the sum of the rockets is now the total strength, so a 2 rocket and a 3 rocket can destroy a size 5 meteor. When the game begins, all of the meteor cards will be faced with their exact meteor size face down. The back of the card will tell you if the meteor size is between 1 and 3, or if it's between 3 and 5. When you launch a rocket at a meteor, you flip the meteor card over to see if your rocket was strong enough to destroy it. If your rocket strength was less than the size of your rocket was not strong enough. The meteor stays in the meteor field face up, and your rocket is simply discarded. If your rocket strength is the exact size of the meteor, congratulations, you destroyed the meteor. If, however, your rocket is stronger than the size of the meteor, well, you still destroy the meteor, but you also caused overkill in the process. Overkill means that you have sent all of the meteors flying into the next altitude zone. So abandon the remaining seconds on the timer, flip your card to the next altitude zone, draw new resource cards, and start the next timer. All that to say, if you don't know the size of a specific meteor, sometimes it's best to start by hitting it with a smaller rocket if there's a lot of time left in the current altitude zone, or to wait until the zone is almost over and hit it with a higher number. Just because you have all the necessary energy cards to launch a rocket doesn't mean that you need to launch it right away. In fact, sometimes it's going to be best to leave your rocket in front of you until close to the end of the round so that you don't cause overkill in the process, or until another teammate has built a rocket so that you can launch your rockets at the same time. In addition to rockets, there are a few other things you can build at your launch site. The first is technology. There are 6 different technology cards that you can build. Once they are built, these give you a powerful advantage throughout the rest of the game, such as the ability to talk, draw extra cards, exchange cards in your hand for cards in the discard pile. In order to build each technology, you must pay the energy cards that are indicated at the bottom of the card, just like the rockets. In addition to rockets and technology, you can also build something called a retrofit. Retrofits are made with either energy cards or rocket cards. And to build a retrofit, you need 4 cards total, which are either all the same or all different. Retrofits are a great way to exchange cards when you're stuck, because you exchange the 4 cards in the retrofit for 5 new resource cards from the deck. The cards are distributed evenly to everyone, with the remainder going to the person who started the retrofit and their launch site. Don't forget to work with your teammates to collect all of the various cards you need. You'll be surprised how easily you can exchange cards whenever you feel like you're stuck. Alright, so now that we know how to play the base game and how to destroy a meteor, let's take a look at a few of them individually. Because amidst the normal 1 to 5 size meteors, there are some meteors with special abilities that will either help you or hurt you throughout the game. For example, energy-specific meteors, which can only be destroyed by a rocket built with that indicated energy. There is a hidden meteor that must be the very last meteor you destroy. You've got your fast meteors and solid meteors. You've got a focused meteor, which destroys one of your technologies. There's a radioactive meteor, splitter meteors. There's even a piñata meteor. Because really, who wouldn't be celebrating after you destroyed one of those suckers? In addition to all of those, there's also a size 6 and a size 7 meteor. On top of all of that, there are the boss meteors, which kind of make all the other meteors I just described look like babies.
After you've mastered the basic meteors, you'll definitely want to add in the boss meteors. The game also comes with power-ups, which give each player a unique advantage. And of course, it also comes with challenges, which add new layers to make the game even more difficult. So that's pretty much it. By the end of the 5 rounds, you've either destroyed all the meteors and saved the Earth, or you haven't, and the Earth will be destroyed. No pressure, right? All right, what do we think of this game? So, I really do enjoy this game. It has that sense of tension big time. I mean, it's a 5-minute limit, and asteroids are coming towards the Earth, and you're really trying to stop them. I really like that aspect of the game. Probably my favorite aspect of the game is that pressure that you feel. And then I really enjoy the cooperative nature. And if you know me, our reviews by now, I really like cooperative games. So that helps bring me into the game as well. Some of the things that were a little bit of a hurdle, I think some of the ease of learning, right, is not quite there initially. But, the funny thing is after you make it through the manual, which was a little rough, and you played it a few times, you're like, oh, this is really straightforward. It's really not that hard. But the manual makes it feel more complicated than it is initially, right?
Yeah, definitely. So I feel like everybody should play this game at least 10 times before you make a decision on how you feel about it, which sounds like a lot, but since it's only 5 minutes, it'll go by really fast.
Definitely.
When you're learning, you're kind of, okay, what does this symbol mean? Let me look at the book, pause the timer. Okay, let's go back to the game. It's a lot of back and forth, but once you've played it, you know exactly what everything means, and you can just go and play.
Yep, exactly. And I think the game scales really well too.
It does.
You can start a simple version where you know what all the asteroids are, to when you not to they're hidden until you reveal them, and to the boss meteors. Now, after you get there and you're playing the boss meteor, I really don't want to play any other way, because I think that adds a lot more to the game. It's a lot more fun. The pressure's there. There's a lot more meteors coming. And I think the other thing that's important to note is that I think the game scales in its fun factor as you add more players. It really is something that drew me in initially, because I started with 2 players and moved up, and I think you've tried the single player, which I didn't do. So what did you think of that?
I have, yeah. I thought the solo play was okay. All in all, the game definitely lends itself more towards luck than strategy. So especially in the solo play, you either have the cards or you don't. And if you don't have the cards, then you just move on. But
yeah, and there's a lot of things that can get you to draw more cards and hope, and that's part of the pressure that you feel is that, just one more card, which is really fun. So anyway, I'm going to give this game a solid 2.5 out of 4 corners. Now, this was your first game, Anne, so for the show and reviewing. So what do you think?
So it was my first game, and I was really hoping I would absolutely love it. Like, this is my favorite game forever and ever. I liked it. It was definitely fun. If someone pulled it out, I'd be like, yeah, sure, let's play. I don't know that it's going to be like my go-to game, even my go-to filler game, and I like filler games a lot.
Yeah.
Especially because of the ease of learning. So
yeah, I think that's a hurdle for some folks. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 5-minute game, and if it takes me 10 minutes to explain and say, okay, so this is how you play, but then if you see this symbol, you do this, and if you see that symbol, then it means this.
It's a little fiddly at first until you get it, but like I said, once you get it, you get it.
Totally.
It's not like there's not a scale in the learning. It's suddenly you're like, oh yeah, okay, this makes sense.
And once you get it, you want to play it again.
Yeah. Oh, that's another, right? So especially if you lose, you're like, oh my gosh, we can do better. Let's go again. Just one more time.
And you can make it easier or harder depending on who you're playing with, whether it's new beginners or people who have played before. You have the boss meteors, you have the challenge cards, the power-ups. So all of that works in its favor to keep the game intriguing.
Definitely.
And of course, since it's real time, everyone's playing the whole time.
Yep. So where are you going to rate this one?
I landed at 2.5 as well.
Oh, all right.
There.
Awesome. Great minds. Think alike. All right, folks. That's our review this week. Hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, we'll see you at the table.